College of Health Sciences and Technology. NGURU, YOBE State. Department of Public Health. TITTLE, Immunology in Public Health. Course code, EVT 207. Past question and answer. Here is the question as follows. Question 1, A. Define the term immunology. Question 1, B. Enumerate the seven factors affecting antigen-antibody reaction. Question 2a. Identify and explain the various methods of immunization. To B. Enumerate the five major classes of immunoglobulin and their specific function. Question 3a. Define the term hypersensitivity. Question 3b. List and explain the method. The four type of hypersensitivity. Question 4a. List and explain the three types of vaccine. Question 4b. Define the term immunization. Question 5a. Briefly explain antigen-antibody reaction. Question 5b. Enumerate and explain the special function of immunoglobulins. Question 6. Write notes on the following. 1. Immunogens. 2. Hapten. 3. Epidemic. 4. Endemic. 5. Pandemic. Here is the question and answer as follows. Question 1. Define the term immunology. Answer. Immunology. This can be defined as the study of the cells, molecules, organs and systems responsible for the recognition and disposal of foreign material. On the other hand, immunology can be defined as the study of physiological defenses by which the body, the host, destroys or neutralizes foreign matter, both living and non-living. Question 1b. Enumerate the seven factors affecting antigen-antibody reaction. Answer. 1. Specificity. 2. Ionic strength. 3. Cross-reactivity. 4. Concentration. 5. Temperature. 6. pH. 7. Bond strength and intermolecular attractive force. Question 2a. List and explain the various methods of immunization. Answer. Various immunization methods. 1. Static centers. This describes when the team for the immunization exercise are restricted or locate themselves in a place to carry out immunization exercise. 2. Mobile units. This is also described where a number of people, vaccinators, recorders, health workers, move as a team to either visit house to house or any public areas like schools, mosques, churches, refuges, camp etc. to carry out their immunization exercise. Question 2b. Enumerate the five major classes of immunoglobulin and their specific function. Answer. Immunoglobulins, Ig, are antibodies and there are five major classes of antibodies. 1. Immunoglobulin A, IgA. 2. Immunoglobulin G, Ig. 3. Immunoglobulin D, IgD. 4. Immunoglobulin M, IgM. 5. Immunoglobulin E, IgA. Normally, the body contains ample amounts of each of these immunoglobulins, which are available for our body's needs for antibody production. 1. Ig is the most abundant of the classes of immunoglobulins. It's the antibody for viruses, bacteria, and antitoxins and found in most tissues and plasma. 2. IgM is the first antibody present in an immune response. 3. IgA is an early antibody for bacteria and viruses. It's found in saliva, tears, and all other mucous secretions. 4. IgD activity is not well understood. 5. IgA is present in the respiratory secretions. It's an antibody for parasitic diseases, Hodgkin's disease, hay fever, atopic dermatitis, and allergic asthma. Question 3a. Define the term hypersensitivity. Answer. Hypersensitivity refers to excessive, undesirable, damaging, discomfort-producing and sometimes fatal reactions produced by the normal immune system. Example: allergies and autoimmunity. Hypersensitivity reactions require a pre-sensitized, immune state of the host. They are classified in your groups after the proposal of P.G.H. Gell and Robin Combus in 1963. Question 3b. List and explain the method. The four type of hypersensitivity. Answer. 1. Type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, immediate or anaphylactic. 2. Type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. 3. Type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. 4. Type 4 hypersensitivity reaction, delayed type hypersensitivity. 1. Type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, immediate or anaphylactic, fast response which occurs in minutes, rather than multiple hours or days. Free antigen cross-link the IgA on mast cells and basophils, which causes a release of vasoactive biomolecules. These reactions may involve skin, urticaria and eczema, eyes, conjunctivitis, nasopharynx, rhinorrhea, rhinitis, bronchopulmonary tissues, asthma, and gastrointestinal tract gastroenteritis. The reaction may cause a range of symptoms from minor inconvenience to death. The reaction usually takes 15 to 30 minutes from time of exposure to the antigen, although sometimes it may have a delayed onset, 10 to 12 hours. To type 2 hypersensitivity reaction, this is also known as cytotoxic hypersensitivity and may affect a variety of organs and tissues. The antigens are normally endogenous, although exogenous chemicals, haptens, which can attach to cell membrane can also lead to type 2 hypersensitivity. Drug induct for hemolytic anemia, granulocytopenia, and thrombocytopenia are such example. The reaction time is minutes to hours. Type 3 hypersensitivity is primarily mediated by antibodies of the IgM or IgG classes and complement phagocytes, and K cells may play a role. Type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. This type of reaction is also known as immune complex hypersensitivity. The reaction may be general antibody, IgG, binds to soluble antigen forming a circulating immune complex. This is often deposited in the distal walls of the joints and kidney, initiating a local inflammatory reaction. The reaction may take 3 to 10 hours after exposure to the antigen. Type 5 hypersensitivity reaction. Delayed type hypersensitivity. This involves in the pathogenesis of many autoimmune and infectious diseases such as tuberculosis, leprosy, blastomycosis, histoplasmosis, toxoplasmosis, leishmaniasis, etc. Another form of delayed hypersensitivity is contact dermatitis, poison ivy chemicals, heavy metals, in which the lessons are more popular. Mechanism of damage in delayed hypersensitivity include lymphocytes and monocytes and/or macrophages. Cytotoxic T cells cause direct damage, whereas helper T cells secrete cytokines which activate cytotoxic T cells and recruit and activate monocytes and macrophages, which cause the bulk of the damage. Question 4a. List and explain the three types of vaccine. Answer. Types of vaccines. Inactivated, killed vaccinates are vaccine in which the antigenic properties of the organism have been denatured using scientific principles. Example: OPV, CSM, PT, hepatitis, influenza, cholera. Live attenuated vaccine. These are living organisms whose antigenic structure and ability to cause infection have been modified. They confer long-lasting immunity to the host and more potent than killed vaccines. Examples: measles, yellow fever, BCG, toxoid, inactivated toxin. These are produced from soluble exotoxin of microbes that have been made less toxic or harmless through scientific method. Question 4b. Define the term immunization. Answer. Immunization is a process through which the body system is sensitized against certain disease for which a vaccine is prepared. Question 5a. Factors affecting antigen-antibody reaction. Answer. Many factors affect the interaction between antigen and antibody. These include specificity, cross-reactivity, temperature, pH, ionic strength, concentration, and intermolecular specificity. Specificity, the ability of a particular antibody to combine with one antigen instead of another, is referred to as specificity. Specificity exists when the binding sites of antibodies directed against determinants of one antigen. Cross-reactivity, when some of the determinants of an antigen are shared by similar antigenic determinants on the surface apparently unrelated molecules. A proportion of the antibodies directed against one kind of antigen will also react with the other kind of antigen. Temperature, the optimum temperature needed to reach equilibrium in an antibody-antigen reaction differs for different antibodies. IgM antibodies are cold, reacting with thermal range 4 to 220 C, and IgG antibodies are warm, reacting with an optimum temperature of reaction at 370 C. pH, although the optimum pH for all reactions has not been determined, a pH of 7.0 is used for routine laboratory testing. Ionic strength, the concentration of salt in the reaction medium has an effect on antibody uptake by the membrane-bound erythrocyte antigens. Sodium and chloride ions in solutions have inhibition effective. These ions cluster around and partially neutralize the opposite charges on antigen and antibody molecule, which hinders the association of antibody with antigen. Reducing or lowering the ionic strength of a reaction medium such as low ionic strength salts can enhance antibody uptake. Concentration. Under normal condition, the concentration of antigen and antibody should be optimal, but sometimes this thing fails to be happen, in which excess antibody or antigen concentration will result in take reaction, sometimes known as zonal reaction. When concentration of antigen is excess, it is known as post-zone reaction. Excess antibody is referred as pro-zone reaction. Bond strength and intermolecular attractive force. Bonding of an antigen to an antibody takes place because of the formation of multiple, reversible intermolecular attraction between an antigen amino acids of the binding site. The bonding of antigen to antibody is exclusively non-covalent. The attractive force of non-covalent bonds is weak when compared to covalent bonds. Question 5b. Enumerate the five major classes of immunoglobulin and their specific function. Immunoglobulins, Ig, are antibodies, and there are five major classes of antibodies. 1. Immunoglobulin A, IgA. 2. Immunoglobulin G, Ig. 3. Immunoglobulin D, IgD. 4. Immunoglobulin M, IgM. 5. Immunoglobulin E, IgA. Normally, the body contains ample amounts of each of these immunoglobulins, which are available for our body's needs for antibody production. 1. Ig is the most abundant of the classes of immunoglobulins. It's the antibody for viruses, bacteria, and antitoxins, and found in most tissues and plasma. 2. IgM is the first antibody present in an immune response. 3. IgA is an early antibody for bacteria and viruses. It's found in saliva, tears, and all other mucous secretions. 4. IgD activity is not well understood. 5. IgA is present in the respiratory secretions. It's an antibody for parasitic diseases, Hodgkin's disease, hay fever, atopic dermatitis, and allergic asthma. Question 6. Write notes on the following. 1. Immunogens. 2. Hapten. 3. Epidemic. 4. Endemic. 5. Pandemic. 6. Immunogens. Answer. 1. Immunogens are any foreign substances that induce an immune response, but not all antigen are immunogens. 2. Hapten, a simple chemical group that can combine with a lymphocyte receptor, i.e. is an antigen, but does not induce an immune response, i.e. is not an immunogens. 3. Epidemic, epi upon, demos equals people. The unusual occurrence in a community or region of disease, specific health-related behavior, e.g. smoking, or epidemic occurs when new cases of a certain disease, in a given human population and during a given period substantially exceed what is expected based on recent experience. 4. Endemic, en equals in, demos equals people. It refers to the constant presence of a disease or infectious agent within a given geographic area or population. Refers to the usual or expected frequency of the disease within such area or population group. For instance, common cold is endemic because somebody always has one. 5. Pandemic, an epidemic usually affecting a large proportion of the population occurring over a wide geographical area such as a section of a nation, the entire nation, a continent, or the whole world.